Welcome back to Robert Morris University's live coverage of Election Night 2012 presented by SCJ. Before we went to the break, we mentioned that Paul had a report live from Moon Township, and here it is.
Reporting live from Moon Township District 9 polling station. And I'm here with Chris Johnson, and he is going to tell us a little bit about what's going on with voting today. Chris?
Well, it's been quite a turnout. As I understand it, over 1,000 people showed up. This is from our count. It's not an official one. We'll get that after the polls close at 8 o'clock. But yeah, it's been a good vibe. Really cold, and yeah, it's a wonderful turnout. I think it's going to be. Well, I mean, I think there's a good chance that Romney will, of course, take District 9. It tends to run 3-1 Republican. But we're going to see. I mean, I think there's going to be a lot of surprises tonight. And, yeah, I expect Obama to win.
Well, it is going to be a close race, and it's projected to be a close race within 10 or 20 electoral votes. Now, is District 9 generally a Republican district?
Yes, in general. I used to be the judge of election here. I'm actually a poll worker representing Mark Scabby. Yeah, no, it tends to be. I don't think Democrats have ever really won this particular district. But Moon in general tends to be pretty Republican. But yeah, no, I mean turnout is everything though. And I think everybody's come out. So it's great. It's really a democracy in action.
How would you compare the turnout this year to past years?
Well, I mean, I've been seen elections where it's like 300 turnout to this particular polling station and 1,000. I mean, that's good. On the general, I mean, I think it'll probably beat 2008, which was, of course, a fabulous turnout. And so, no, I think it's going to be. I don't think Pennsylvania is going to be close. But I think that it's going to be important. A lot of people certainly a lot of Democrats, and I'm a Democrat. They sort of clued into this whole issue of the voting machine that was that went awry this morning. It was on YouTube, and so everybody's getting out because they don't really quite know what's happening. And the Republicans, you can always count on them they tend to line up behind their candidate, and I think that's what happened during this election.
What do you think Romney's visit here to Moon is really going to do? Do you think that's going to have an impact on voting at all? It's about there's a certain point in a campaign where it's all about getting bodies out there, get out the vote. One thing I will note is that when I was voting this morning, it was about a 50-minute wait at Allard School, and a Republican poll watcher was sort of going out into the crowd with a sort of binder at her chest and sort of looking official, saying that you had to show your ID. And I said, no, you don't. In fact, and she said, well, you will next time. I said, well, no, well, that's a good long way away. But the long and short of it is this is basically not something that was permitted, but it's not a hanging offense, I suppose. So, but heavy turnout. It's great news, and in general, it's been a pretty good vibe. Nothing too vicious. People waiting in lines. All right. Well, thank you very much. This has been Paul Wintruba reporting live from the Moon Township District 9 voting station.
Thank you, Paul. That was certainly worth the wait. We apologize again for not getting it to you earlier as promised. We have another report from the Black Student Union brought to you by John Fisher, as if we did not see him enough in the 8 o'clock hour. What do you have for us, John?
I'm here at Hopwood Hall in the midst of this election madness. I'm John Fisher here with Darian Moyne. Now, Darian, again, you're having a meeting for the Black Student Union, watching this election. Talk about that a little bit. Your own Chauncey Alexander was in studio talking with our own Haley Sawyer earlier, but to elaborate on the meeting itself.
At the Black Student Union, we held a meeting covering the election process, and we just wanted to discuss the election process in general to make sure that students were well informed, like how it works, where your votes go to, like to make, and how to make like an informed decision, and like be able to avoid some of the smoke and mirrors that are in like politics. And we didn't really focus on either Romney or Obama. It was just the middle ground and make people be able to make the right decision that best fits you.
Now, you said a lot of smoke and mirrors involving politics in general. Talk about that a little bit, and do really college students know anything about the election specifically, or is it all based on what you read on the internet?
Lots of college students are really politically involved, but we just wanted to get rid of some of the misconceptions that are out there. Lots of people, mainly that black people vote for Obama because it's black. We did get rid of that, and that is really about the future and their politics and how it affects you down there, and not really about who's what or who believes in what. It's just about the politics of that.
Now, you just gave a perfect example. Black people vote for Obama because he's black. Do you really think that's true, especially at RMU?
No, that's not true. That's just a stereotype. Really, we just, if you could say he has that vote, it's because people believe that he's more relatable to the average, not that he's black or anything. That's how these people stand.
No, they do exist, certainly everywhere, not just at Robert Morris University, but more importantly, if you're willing to share, who are you in favor for, and if so, do you see this election on the good side, if you will?
I have no problem sharing who I voted for. I voted for Obama just because I believe his politics stand better for me as a student and as a middle-class American. And I just don't really feel like trickle-down economics at this point.
Now, more involving economics. In most of the polls, economics were the main reason of concern for who they were voting for. Rather, do you believe that's true? Do you think economics is the most important part to who you're going to vote for? Rather, if you're Romney or Obama?
Me personally, yes. The economics is the core issue. It should be, as far as I'm concerned, it should be the only issue here when you're trying to decide the presidents. There should be no mudslinging. Religion shouldn't come up. It should just be about the economics and the politics.
My last question, your Black Student Union party here at Hopwood Hall, watching the election, awaiting a winner. Again, Pennsylvania was just announced that Obama did take that state, and waiting for Ohio as well. Again, your opinion on the election so far. We have a couple of hours to go. Most of the polls end at 11 o'clock, so we're not going to get the winner until later in the evening. But again, your opinion on the election thus far.
Pretty close race. I think I was really surprised that Romney took Georgia. Pennsylvania just came in. Obama got it. Ohio's looking like Obama. We're still waiting to see most of the West Coast. So I think it's going to be a close race.
Again, thank you, Darian, for all of your insight. And again, another big surprise was Mitt Romney taking the state of Texas. Originally, Obama was supposed to win that area with a bunch of electoral college, I believe 36 to be exact. Well, again, with Darian Moy here, I'm John Fisher, outside Hopwood Hall from the Black Student Union, the Election Watch Party. Again, stay tuned. Pat and Leah, back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you to all who have been tuning in so far for our live election night coverage on Channel 98 and RMUCentryMedia.com. Coming up for the next 2 hours to keep you up to date as results continue to roll in to bring you the results of who will win this election is our own Brooks Bratton and John Clocko. I would like to say good night, but you will see more of Leah covering our social media desk later this evening. Don't go anywhere.